no one really knows exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? No one actually knows. But you was actually there.
Yeah.
I mean, was she dutty whining on the dance floor? What was she doing?
There was no. I'm not allowed to say slut dropping, but I'm going to say it. There was no slut dropping. There was no black cat PVC cat suits.
There was no twerking.
There was no Spice Girl action. What it was the word inappropriate. Why I said it was inappropriate as well was because at the time it was the timing. So what happened was, this is what happened, guys. Right. So basically, Mark Anthony was performing on stage. He then called Brooklyn onto stage. Brooklyn went onto the stage where the next minute everyone was expecting it to be Nicola to go up and do the first dance. And then Mark Anthony asks the most beautifulest woman in the room to come to the stage. And then he says, Victoria, come to the stage. So Victoria's by the stage, she goes onto the stage. And of course, at that point, Brooklyn's like suddenly, literally devastated because he thought he was going to do his first dance with his wife. Then Nicola leaves the room crying her eyes out. Brooklyn's stuck there on stage. And then they do this dance. And Mark Anthony's like, go, put your hands on your mother's hips. And it was a Latin, it's a Latin thing. And the whole situation was really awkward for everyone in the room. And I've done an awful lot of Beckham parties in the past, and they're a very dancey, close-knit family. They love to dance, right? So, what we deem as inappropriate is not how Brooklyn feels. Yes, this is all about how Brooklyn feels. If he felt it was inappropriate and awkward, then it was inappropriate.
It seems like it happened in the spur of the moment.
It really was.
So it's so difficult to deem what is inappropriate at a wedding.
And I think what's sad is that this is the bit that everybody's taken from this statement. They've kind of whitewashed everything else that went on. It's taken a lot for someone to go to social media to post it when your life's lived out on social media, right? Firstly. It's a safe space in the sense of, OK, you can control the narrative. He wanted to change the narrative. For the last 4 years, he's been Nepo Baby. For all of his life, he's been called Nepo Baby. Oh, he should be grateful that he's got the family name. You can't. That's what he was born into. I think what we're all missing here is the fact that parents have lost their child, their son, and the son's lost his parents and the rest of his family.